everybody. In this video, we're going to look at how do we solve and find the value of x, or it could be any other variable, if you have a set of vertical angles. Okay? So we're solving using vertical angles. Now, vertical angles, remember, are across from each other and they are equal in size. That's the really important thing to remember here, okay? So I have three different examples here. Some of them you're going to go, wow, this is, I don't want to say simple, simplistic. How can my answer possibly be this simple? Yeah, it's going to happen. You're going to have a setup like this. You see the two angles, they're across from each other. So they're vertical angles. They just share a vertex. And there's a variable there, there's a number there. What does x equal? It equals 91 because these angles are equal. Okay, so your answer's done. Yay, time to move on. Okay, then you're going to have somewhere you're going to have to do a little bit of equation solving. So let's look at this example here. So the angle here on the left is x plus 6 degrees, and the angle over here on the right is 34 degrees. So remember they're vertical, so they're going to equal each other. So I'm just going to write x plus 6 equals 34. All right, now some of you are saying, okay, I remember how to solve. Great, go ahead and solve. Those of you who are saying, I don't remember how to solve, here's a quick little reminder. When you're solving equations, you need to use opposite operations. Addition and subtraction are a pair of opposite operations, and so are multiplication and division. So if you see addition, you do subtraction. If you see subtraction, you do addition to solve. If you see multiplication, you divide, and if you see division, you multiply to solve, that sort of thing. Remember, you have to do the same thing to both sides of the equation. That keeps it balanced so it doesn't tip over, so to speak. And if you have a two-step equation, remember we do that done to the variable and solve. And you do the opposite order when you're going to solve and opposite operations. And we'll look at an example of that in just a moment. But now let's get back to this one. X plus 6 equals 34. We see addition, so that means we have to do subtraction to solve, and we do it to both sides. Subtract 6 from both sides. 6 minus 6. Remember, they cancel out over here. That's our goal, is to make things cancel out and isolate the variable. And so x equals 34 minus 6 is 28. And if one other thing I should have mentioned, our dividing line for each side of the equation, remember, is the equal sign right there, in case you need that little reminder. So x equals 28. All right, now we're going to come down here, step this way again, and we have another pair of vertical angles. This time the top angle is 4x minus 25, the bottom angle is 75 degrees. They're vertical angles. There is an angle here, then another one that we don't know anything about, and then the one down here. So they're across from each other. They share a vertex, so they are equal to each other. So we're going to create that equation. 4x minus 25 equals 75. This is going to be a two-step equation. There's two things being done to x. So we're just going to write that on the side if we need it. Done and solve. And this becomes our little checklist as we go to finish off the problem. If we look just at this side of the equation where the variable is, we say what's being done to x first. First, it's being multiplied by 4. Then, 25 is being subtracted from it. So that means when we go to solve it later, we're going to go opposite order. The last becomes first. The first becomes last in this case. And we do the opposite operation. So what's the opposite of subtracting 25? Adding 25. What's the opposite of dividing or multiplying by 4? Dividing by 4. And so now that's what we're going to use to help us solve. All right. So first thing, add 25 to both sides. Okay, that cancels over here. Subtracting 25, adding 25, boom, cancels out. It's 0. So we're left with just 4x, and 75 plus 25 equals 100. Then we said we had to divide both sides by 4. divide by 4, divide by 4, boom, gone, because 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 1x is just x. And 100 divided by 4 is 25. So that means for this angle measure, or for this pair of angles, if I had to plug in x, I'd have to plug in 25 in order to make these two equal each other. So remember, vertical angles equal each other, set the two pieces equal to each other, solve using our equation solving methods to help you solve and figure out what the missing variable is. All right, time to get to work.